Good coffee, boy. What's going on, everybody? I don't think I've been live in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So what's going on? Oh, shout out to my newest member. My newest, well, she was a Harrison extended family member for a minute. Verns, what's going on? Everybody in the chat, what's going on? How many jaws you gonna make today? Yo, listen, bro. I'm about to get canceled by the whole Red Pill Manosphere community for this one. Now, this is going to be fun, totally unscripted. But in light of the new Matrix movie coming out, Matrix Resurrections, I thought to myself, you know what? Let's talk about the Red Pill community. And let's talk about this whole concept of red pill, right? Let's talk about it. Let's be objective. Let's talk about the term red pill, blue pill, where it came from. But before I do that, shout out to Misunderstood in the chat. VMC Show. My sister Verns is going on. My brother Real Talk 87. We also got Brown Do Life 89. What's going on? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Before you do anything else, whether you're watching the live stream or watching the replay, stop. Hit the like button right now. Hit that like button. Like whatever you're doing, stop and just press the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, let's talk about it. Oh, that Christian fam is in the house. What's going on, bro? We're planning a collab. So my next live stream will be a collab with that Christian fam. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Now, let's talk about it. Okay. People tend to say I'm a little long-winded. I just love my Harrison extended family. I love my YouTube community, and I want to engage with you guys. So today we're going to do some engagement. All right. We're going to do some engagement. We're going to do some talk back, and I'll even drop the link for you to come on and share your opinion on this. Right. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Right now, we know in YouTube, Conversation with Kings in the house. What's going on, bro? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, Harry Z. Yo, Harry Z started his YouTube channel finally. I watched both videos he uploaded. I can't comment though because it's like made for children, which is fine, but man, I can't comment. I can't comment. Yo, it's my brother Frank Khalif. What's going on? What's going on, bro? Listen, we're gonna talk today. We're gonna talk. All right. So let's talk about the origins of this red pill thing, and let's dig deep. Right now, I understand that in this current scope in our society, we're living in a time where there's some gender wars, specifically in YouTube. You can find it a lot on YouTube. There's channels dedicated to what people would call male improvement, but a lot of it is female bashing, and vice versa. There's a lot of female empowerment channels that's geared toward male bashing, right? So there's a gender war out there on YouTube. I'm like in that middle. I'm trying to call out the nonsense with the females, nonsense with the males, nonsense within myself, nonsense within all of us. That's what we got to do, right? We got to be objective if we really want growth. But part of that being objective is looking at terms that we tend to identify ourselves as. And if you're part of the Red Pill community, I'm speaking to you guys today, and I'm having fun. Okay, I'm having fun. So please, if you're offended, you can be offended. But this is meant to be in jest, but to point out some inconsistencies and holes in your whole community and how it was designed in the first place. All right. So in 1999, one of the dopest movies ever to come out, The Matrix, the first one. This movie changed almost every single genre, almost every movie genre, from the digital effects to the sound to the imagery to the action to the drama to the acting. Like it changed every single drama, like genre of movies. It affected. It affected. I had The Matrix, and I ran that DVD over and over and over again. Like it was dope, so dope, right? But out of that came this concept of red pill, blue pill. In the movie, Neo was given an option by Morpheus, right? Because at that time, Neo was living inside the Matrix as a hacker. And he's supposed to be the chosen one, but he had a choice. He could take the red pill and his eyes would be open. He would be able to see the Matrix for what it is. Or he could take the blue pill and live life as he always have in ignorance bliss, right? But here's a problem with that. We have a community of men who adopted this red pill persona, and I don't think they really understand how the movie makes the red pill look. Like, because in the red pill community, they're all about, I'm a man and we're not taking, we're not conforming to society standards of what men should be doing in relationships and for women and all this and all that. And I get it. I get it. I think that the modern standards are extremely inconsistent and our weight is weighted to benefit women in the dating stages than it does men. I get it. And there's not, none of you guys can argue that. None of you guys can argue that. But we have to understand this, right? We have to understand this. Listen, wait. Real talk. We're about to explode this whole red pill concept right now. All right. Because if you guys are fans of the Matrix, and in light of this new Matrix movie coming out, shout out to Keanu Reeves for making it happen. I have to like really talk about this, right? Let's discuss what happened to Neo. What's going on, Evolving Butterfly? Thank you so much for being here. Let's talk about what happened to Neo and Morpheus after they took the red pill. let's talk about it. This is stuff that the red pill community will not like. They won't, because it explodes the very core and foundation of what they believe. It explodes it, right? It explodes it. All right, let's talk about it. So Neo first was exposed to the concept of there being a matrix, right? And he meets a woman who he has to chase, right, to find out the truth of the matrix, Trinity. So he chases this woman, all right, follows this woman, trusts in this woman, to ultimately meet this guy named Morpheus, who gives him the option of the red pill and blue pill. But what happens after he takes the red pill is sort of mind-boggling. And you men in the red pill community really got to examine this. After he took the red pill, you got to ask yourself, did he become more of what you guys consider a simp? Or did he become independent, strong, and in no need of a woman? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, right? After Neo takes the red pill, what happens? His mind is opened up to the idea of the Matrix. Yeah, right? He goes through a whole lot, but you know what's one of the first things he does? He falls in love. He falls in love with a woman. The woman who led him to the idea that there was the Matrix in the first place. He fell in love. Wait a minute. So wait. So I took this red pill persona, right? And the very man in the movie who took the red pill fell for a woman? What? Wait a minute. I don't know if I can really grasp that. All right, what's going on, Jen, from the on the block with Jen? Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Nathalie, yo, do they have it wrong? Do they have it wrong? Oh boy, do they have it wrong. Now, I get it. Understand why the community exists, and there's definitely some benefits to it. But man, here's a problem with this is what, like, I'm a Christian, and one of the things that frustrates me is when people take like a scripture out of context and start believing something that is not supposed to believe about one specific scripture because they're reading it out of context. The red pill community took that whole red pill idea way out of context because they made it something that it wasn't meant to be. I understand that what they're trying to say is, we don't want to conform to society's standards of what it means to be in a relationship with a woman. I get it. But don't call it a red pill, because we got to understand that you say you took the red pill, Mr. Red Pill Man. Neo took the red pill. And one of the first things he did was fall in love with Trinity. He fell in love with Trinity. Come on. So now, just because we want to be cool and call ourselves something nice like the red pill and take it from one of the best movies of all time, The Matrix, right? Just because we want it, it's inconsistent. Huge hole. Frank Murphy says, these red pill men are literally acting and speaking like the introverted simps that every hood has. where they are too afraid to talk, communicate to beautiful women in person, so they cut off, they act tough online. They're dumb thugs. Most of them are. They're gonna trust me. They're gonna be in the chat. They're gonna be in the comment section if they're not already in the chat. Nah, just adult-ish. The message for the grown and sexy trying to do bigger things and promote self-worth. I hear that. I hear that. Harry, I'll check it out. Oh, you guys are having a conversation. Real Talk Therapy is in the building. What's going on, sis? Thank you so much. And guys, if you have not done so, do me a favor, hit that like button. Hit that like button, and let's continue the conversation. Let's continue the conversation. Let's go back to the movie. So, but it goes even deeper than just Neo and Trinity. But we got to understand, he fell in love with a woman while his eyes were open to the concept of the Matrix. Understand this: before he took the red pill, he was in the Matrix. And you know what he didn't have a care for? A woman. like nowhere in the beginning of the Matrix does it hint that he was in any kind of relationship, simping after a woman. The only way when he started what they would consider simping over a woman, when he started simping over a woman is when he took the red pill. When he was in the Matrix, he wasn't trying to simp over a woman. He just was doing his own thing, living in his old crusty apartment, hacking, all that stuff, working a 9 to 5, like he had no, like, we can assume that he had no concern over a woman. It wasn't until he took the red pill that his eyes were open to Trinity and her fineness. I gotta hit you with the come on. Let's talk about it. I applaud your courage to admit this publicly on my forum. It's the truth. Like it's I don't know if it's a matter of courage. It is what it is. It's the truth. Hey, what's going on? Suzette Speaks. If you guys have not subscribed to this sister's channel, please do so. She has some dope conversation. Dope conversation on her channel. But listen, man, like we have to expose it and we have to examine it. Let's look at it objectively. All right. But let's move even further, right? Most people would say that the most influential character in the Matrix is Morpheus, right? This is going to blow your mind, right? Morpheus, too, was a simp, according to your standards. And what's funny is who he was simping over. Jada Pinkett Smith. In the movie. Oh my gosh. Morpheus himself, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Morpheus, was in a relationship after he took the red pill and his eyes were open to the Matrix with Jada Pinkett Smith character. And you know what? Didn't they break up and she was seeing like the top general at the time, and then they wound up breaking up and then getting back together? Like, yo, first off, Jada Pinkett Smith is on some craziness in that movie. like craziness. Entanglement times 2. Say it, bro. So here's the thing. We adapt ideas that we really don't think too thoroughly through. We really don't. So we have this red pill community calling themselves red pills, and they took it from the movie The Matrix, but the two main characters in The Matrix who took the red pill were simping over women according to their standards, right? While they had taken, or after they had taken the red pill. Yo, my mind was blown after I started to really think about this. And I didn't think about it until the movie trailer came out about the Matrix, and I saw the red pill, blue pill thing again. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. That's very inconsistent to this modern red pill community here on YouTube. Very inconsistent. Any man who overtly displays dominance unnecessarily clearly shows that they are insecure. Real men who have natural confidence are always low-key, don't need to brag because you can't fake real energy. That's a fact. Now I understand red pill. Listen, sis. So we really have to just examine certain things, right? In the movie The Matrix, Neo's love for Trinity happened after he took the red pill. Morpheus got played by Jada Pinkett's character in the Matrix Reloaded, right? In that movie, after he took the red pill. So these guys are enlightened. These men are enlightened and still falling for women. Still falling for women. Yo, yo, Fernando, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Fernando, red pill slash life, death. We'll see. Yeah, you got your own opinion. Yeah. All right. But let's look at what it is, right? If we're going to take a concept from a movie, let's really examine it to its core. These men in the movie, the strong, fighting men in this movie, all had weaknesses. A woman, a woman, a woman. Crazy, crazy. When I started to really think about this, I was like, yo, this whole community adopted this idea from this movie. In this red pill community, they speak a lot against women. But then when we look at what happened after Neo and Morpheus took the red pill, their eyes were open to being in the matrix itself, in the programming, in the system, but it didn't stop them from falling for women. And I'll give it to Neo because Trinity actually loved Neo. Okay. I'm making this comparison because prior to him taking the red pill, you don't see him trying to engage any female at all. At all. It was only until after he took the red pill that he saw Trinity and fell in love. Morpheus is a whole different story, though. Let's talk about it, all right? Because Morpheus would be the antithesis to what the red pill community is all about. The very antithesis, because he was with Jada Pinkett, right? Jada Pinkett broke it off and got with Morpheus's superior, superior in the movie. Ooh. You can choose to be a character in life's play, or you can write the story and influence it. True. It gave them the courage to live that lifestyle. Which lifestyle? To be able to go after women. So I was like, dang. After careful examination of the movie, right? After careful examination of the movie, and I like really seeing some of the videos that these men in the red pill community put out. Now, let me just say this. I understand why the red pill community exists. And I think at the core, they really would like to help men improve. I just don't align with the whole female bashing portion of that community. But really stopping and thinking about where they came up with the idea and the concept of calling themselves red pill, right? And looking at it from the movie perspective, the writers of the movie and how it played out, we have to look at it objectively. You red pill men, let me talk directly to you guys. You red pill men in these communities have called yourself red pills without really examining what happened to Neo and Morpheus after they took the red pill. They became stronger. They became enlightened. They went to war. They did all that good stuff, but they also fell for women. And that's a major hole in your community because you guys have this fear of treating women right. Because if you treat women right, you'll be considered a simp. So you have become He-Man women haters and call yourselves or identify with a concept that the very men from that concept fell for women after they took the red pill. It's just inconsistent. Inconsistent. And inconsistency is one of those things that really get under my skin. I got to be honest with you. I hate when people are inconsistent. Like I can trust somebody who is inconsistently horrible than I can somebody who is consistently horrible than I can who somebody is some. Let me say it again. Scratch that. I can trust somebody who is consistently horrible more than I can trust somebody who is inconsistently nice. I'll say it like that. Can't trust you. At least I know what to expect, right? And that's the thing with the red pill community. I just don't know what to expect. I just don't. I don't know what to expect. But one thing I see from after watching the movie again that you guys really need to call yourselves something else. You guys need to go away from this whole red pill concept, because the heroes in the red pill concept fell for women after they took the red pill. So you guys have to call yourselves something else. You have to, okay? It's important. It's just be consistent. The sad part about the men in the red pill community is that the good men that want to help other men are way outnumbered by the negative red pill men that, yeah, I'll definitely give you that for real. Flood the net with the women bashing videos. I agree. Because there is a remnant of men in that community that really want to help men. There is. And I can't deny that. Can't deny it. Examine Cypher and his rebellion. Wasn't um Cypher and his he wanted to take the blue pill. Again, he wanted to go back to the blue pill. That's the same guy I'm talking about, right? So he took the red pill and he was like, "Yo, this is I don't want to be a part of this." So he actively chose to take the blue pill, right? And here's the funny thing about Cypher. Let's examine that, right? Wasn't he in love with Trinity? What wasn't he into Trinity? Right? Right? And wasn't he jealous of Neo? So he was enlightened. He too, he too wanted Trinity, and Trinity wasn't giving him any play, right? And this could have been the reason why he was like, "Just give me the blue pill. I don't want it. I don't want it. Just ignorance is bliss." While he was eating that fake steak, that Matrix steak. I think that's Cipher. Either way, it's consistent, right? Cipher chose. He took the red pill and was like, "Yo, what's up, Trinity?" And Trinity was like, "No." And he was like, "Yeah, I want that blue pill again." Took the blue pill. Oh gosh, man. Guys, if you're watching this and you're in the red pill community, I think you guys should have a conference, right? And in that conference, you guys should have articles of incorporations and all that good stuff, and come to a meeting. Have like a formal meeting, right? Where you guys vote on a new name for your movement, because the red pill movement has crumbled under the very foundation of what it was built on. Because if you look at the foundation, you got it from the Matrix movie. And if you look at the characters in the movie that took the red pill, they chased women. They fell in love with women. And one of them even got played by a woman. So, yeah, I think you guys should, meet up at the Marriott in DC somewhere and come to order and say, you know what? Play this video too. Play this video. You can play it too. I'll even come and speak to you guys. Like, I'll be one of the keynote speakers. I'll do a workshop and all that good stuff, right? And you guys need to change your name. Change it quick. All right. Hopefully this variant won't be too bad. You guys can meet somewhere in April, May, where the weather is pretty decent in DC, right? Meet at like some fancy Marriott with a huge conference hall and discuss how you guys can change your name, because it's embarrassing. I'll tell you. For every action, there will be an equal reaction. So watch what happens to the red pill community when a new community of women will appear online who will counter the nonsense of the red pill community. Facts. Yeah, man. Let's meet at the Marriott in DC. Hey, yo, me, conversation with King, Real Talk Revelations, Harry Z, that Christian fan Jermaine, Frank Murphy, all of it. Real Talk. We'll come and we'll speak to you guys. We'll speak to you men. All right. We'll talk to you. All right. We'll talk to you guys. All right. Go ahead and just say what's going on, man. Oh, you rewatch it? All right, cool. And let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the chat. And if you are rewatching this right now, please leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think of this. Right, I'm being funny. I'm having fun with this, but I'm cracking but facting. Right, you guys used a concept from a movie, and I get it. After they took the red pill, their eyes was open to the Matrix. They were able to be free from the Matrix, right? But you got to understand that you being part of the red pill community, let's look at it in total, like in the wholeness of what it meant to take the red pill. Neo and Morpheus fell in love after they took the red pill. So, not my opinion. It's in the movie. It's in the movie. Yeah, man. We're gonna be keynote speakers, right? All right. And if you got, and Jen from the block is an author. So she's going to come up and she's going to set up a table to sell her books there too. It's going to be a huge conference. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I'm telling you, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. People from around the world will come to this red pill renaming conference because now our eyes have been, now after taking this, you've really taken the red pill. Now your eyes are open to what it means to be part of the red pill community in all actuality. So now your eyes are open. Joe, you know what happens when I pull up? listen, listen. So the red pill talk online is similar to this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll pull up too? Yeah, man, we'll pull up too. All right. We will be there to support you guys. Okay. Each and every one of you guys in the red pill community. I promise. And like genuinely support you guys, especially with the renaming of your movement. Okay. All right. I can't even, like, the manosphere has a dope name. It does. Like, the manosphere is dope, right? That whole Mick Gaudo, I think is whack. Like, men going their own way. They need a renaming too. I gotta be honest. They need a renaming too. But that whole red pill, total revamp, total renaming. Because your two heroes, Neo and Morpheus, fell in love after they took the red pill. You guys would consider them simping over a woman. And Morpheus was played by Jada Pinkett Smith in the movie. She leveled up and got with his superior after taking the red pill. I'm sorry, I'm having fun here. I'm sorry. I got to stop because I feel like I'm being disrespectful right now. And I don't want to be disrespectful. I want to be funny. I want to offer some entertainment here. But it is what it is. You guys really need to rename your whole movement because like Chef from Conversations with King, right? The show that he does, right? He has this concept called the true pill. The true pill. I like that. Right? It's dope. All right. The true pill. And in that, there's an examination of both men and women in relationships. It's not about bashing one, bashing the other. There's a balance there. Not a bashing balance, but a balance of what do we need to do to improve so that relationships can improve. What do we need to do to improve this the relationships that exist? What can we do? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So, with that being said, if you are part of the Red Pill community and you have a conference to rename it, please invite me and I'll bring some of my community and we will be behind you guys to support you guys 100%. Because you guys cannot call yourselves red pill anymore, considering that Neo and Morpheus, the red pill pillars, fell for women and simped hard for them according to your own standards in the red pill community. So, not sure what you guys are going to do with this information, but hopefully you guys can have a conversation among yourselves and say, you know what? Dre is kind of right. Neo did fall for Trinity after he took the red pill. And Morpheus did get played by Jada Pinkett Smith. It's ironic that it's her, though, yo. It's ironic. Yeah, Chef is the creator of the true pill. It's ironic, though. It's ironic. And I got nothing against Jada Pinkett Smith, right? I haven't been following too much of that. I just know that there's been some heat about their marriage, but like, again, I'm not one to rag on anybody's relationships or marriage because I pray the best for marriages. I pray whatever it is that they're going through, that it'll get fixed. Somebody's at my front door. I have no clue who that is. Give me a second. Let me look at. This is what happens when you got the ring. Ah, Amazon. I got a package. So, yeah. So I'm praying for. I genuinely praying for the Smiths and that they will work everything out. Right. And that they will keep everything out of the public, man. That's one thing. Like, guys, if you're in a relationship, in a marriage, keep it out of the public eye. Dre, once you provide facts and logic to this community, they will always respond with emotion and diversion, just like any. And I think that's a good point because they say that people that argue them do the very same thing. They do the very same thing that they claim women do. They really do. So, guys, with that being said, I'm about to end it here, man. Great conversation. Oh, you know what? No. I want to see what you guys have to say. If you guys want to come up and and be a part of the conversation, I'm going to drop the link in the copy link. I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you guys can come in if you guys want to. Totally up to you. You guys have been chatting with me here, and I've been talking back with you guys. That's absolutely fine as well. But there's a link here. If you guys want, come on up and join the conversation, because this is I want to see what you guys think, especially if you're a fan of the Matrix trilogy. Well, now it's not. It was an anthology now. After the third movie? Is it now called an anthology? Let me know. I forgot what it's called. But I pinned it there. If you guys want to join the conversation, you're more than welcome to. But it really messed me up after I started to really examine the concept of the Matrix. And it was only because they had this new Matrix movie coming out, the Matrix Resurrections. uh, I may not want to answer that then. The Amazon package is a cell phone with instructions on the red pill. Go to the corner of the house. All right. Wait. The agents are coming for you. Right. Yeah, man. But it really hit me, right? Just that's what happens when you think critically about everything, right? Neo and Morpheus fell in love, and one got played after they took the red pill. After they took the red pill. Wow. And thank you so much, Real Talk, for handling that for me. I appreciate that. Yo, crazy. So, guys, if you guys want to join the chat, click the link. Oh, we got Real coming up. I know Real got some insightful things to say about this. My brother was
What's going on, man?
good, man. I'm good. What do you think? What do you think about the connection I made with the red pill and the actual red pill movie?
It's a fact, all right, and it's a fact, yeah. And listen, these
Oh, I think I lost you.
red pill, I don't know, because what I consider red pill is really the truth, all right. So I would consider, to be honest with you, I would consider you a real red pillar. You see what I'm
Mm,
saying?
yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't consider the so-called red pill community really red pill. They just some
Mhm.
women bashers. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I would really consider people like you a red pillar,
Mm,
because you like stand for the truth, whether it's for women or for men. You stand
yeah,
on
yeah.
truth. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, what you're saying right now is 100% fact. I can't disagree with that at all.
Yeah, yeah. Just thinking about it objectively and critically, and also somewhat constructively. I'm having fun with it, but really is. Yeah, guys, think about what you're doing. Think about it. Just think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's just that's how I see it, man. I always, before there was actually a red pill community, when I was watching The Matrix, I always considered myself like a red pill type of person,
Mm,
because I feel like when I say what I say on my videos, whether it's geared towards men or towards women, I feel like what I'm saying is the truth.
yeah, yeah,
Like you can't. I don't like stating. I do like stating my opinions on things, but also I like to give like facts behind why I feel that way. So
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. I got a few brethren up in here too. I'm going to invite them on. Just gentlemen, if you guys don't mind, we're going to talk honestly, but let's keep the language, like the
definitely.
cursing, without the cursing, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
All right. We got a conversation with King and Khalif.
Yeah, I'm
Yo,
trying
what's
to fix
good?
the
Can you
camera.
hear me?
Oh, you got
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you, bro.
Thanks for putting out the language disclaimer because you know me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So just real quick, let me introduce you guys. Got Khalif, one of my brothers from Staten Island. We got conversations with King. He's a Brooklyn, Brownsville, Brooklyn native. All right. And Road Talk 87. So I think I got you first conversation with King. So let me hear your take on this.
Well, I think you gave a. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think you gave an excellent analogy. Um, I think you hit it on the head that when they took the red pill, um, they became all their senses became heightened, all their powers became heightened.
Yeah, yeah.
But the red pill today doesn't realize that their emotional intelligence became heightened too.
Mm,
And when your emotional intelligence becomes heightened, you can relate or manage women better.
mm,
And This is what the red pill is not realizing. The red pill nowadays, not the red pill from the inception, but the red pills nowadays is how can I say this? They are basically, I don't want to diss them because I can't say anything crazy, but they basically they're derelicts, right? They're individuals who really don't stand for anything but bashing of women,
Mm.
and that makes them feel like men,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's not the case. Those who really subscribe to the red pill is to train men to be men in order to empower women,
Yeah.
right? But you can only empower women if women respect you.
Mm.
No woman is going to respect you if you are condescending, if you are belittling, if you are making them feel less than. That's not how you gain a woman's respect. You gain a woman's respect through actions, through accomplishments, right? And I think this red pill society is totally off in my opinion. In my
Agree,
opinion.
agree. Khalif, what do you got to say, bro?
No, I just want to add to that. Most definitely, what the two brothers said is absolutely correct. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the Brooklyn and New York in me. But anytime I see a man or on video or whatever bash a women around another group of men, in
Right.
my gut, and everybody that knows this is on this right now, we all know that the dude that talk crazy about pretty girls is the dude that can never have the confidence to talk to pretty women. Point blank, period. That's facts. That's number one. Number two, I'll give you an example that all men on this video can understand. You know that one friend that we have? Nah, I don't want to talk to her because she's mad conceited. And they didn't even bother even saying anything.
Try.
That's the red
Yeah.
pill mindset, guys.
Yeah.
Those are the dudes that have so high level, such a high level amount of low self-esteem that they bash something that they fear to create a false
Mm.
sense of dominance. Like, for
Mm.
instance, if all four of us was in a hotel lobby having a conversation with four other red pill guys, and I bring four of my female homegirls, whether they're AKAs, deltas, or different part of sororities, to sit down and have an
Cut.
actual conversation, only the insecure would get emotional, defiant, and
Right.
combative.
Right.
Mm.
Listen, any mindset, last thing I'll say, any mindset or any person with a particular set of beliefs, part of any community, can defend it without being divisive,
Mm-hmm.
without a fact denying, and without being open to other forms of logic. And what I've seen online when it comes to the red pill community are a lot of brothers. Some are great. Some really want to help other men. But if you really want to help other men and or help other women, you would disassociate yourself from a community that has a preponderance of men who disrespect other women online. If there was no internet, there will be no strength in this community. That's a fact because they'll never be
Mm.
on site with it.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a
Steep.
fact. That's a
Deep.
fact.
Yep.
You know what's crazy? You got individuals like, and he's my frat brother, so I'm not gonna really. I don't like talking bad about him. But Kevin Samuels is a Kappa, and I don't know him personally, but being a Kappa man, we are known to be ladies' men. We are
Mm.
known to be charming, right? There's nothing charming or persuasive about talking down on a woman,
Mm.
right? It's not what you say; it's how you say it,
Mm.
and it's getting a little bit it's getting a little bit nefarious when you make it an issue to talk down on a woman, right? We have to really mind our words when we talk to our ladies. Are you really trying to criticize them or give them constructive criticism? It's a big difference. It's a
Mm.
Huge.
big difference.
Yep. Yeah. Let me just his vocabulary is extensive on the block with
Yeah.
Jen. Khalif's vocabulary is huge. Like whenever you talk to him, you got to have a thesaurus or a dictionary nearby.
Hmm.
Yep, jokes.
Jokes is serious. Like you crazy smart. You
No, the
always have
thing
been.
is, the cosign with
Mm.
the Kappa man said on the line because I'm a Sigma. I will cosign it, especially at a
Oh, gold
historically black
mob, right?
college. A real
Right.
Kappa don't need to brag. Y'all can just walk in a room and it is what it is. Do you understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
I
And I'll
definitely
give him
understand
props
that.
to that because he's part of the Divine Nine family. And
Right.
again,
Thank you.
this red pill, and again, I'm not being abrasive, Dre. I'm going to try to be as very carefully worded in
Appreciate
how
that.
I'm going to say this.
Appreciate
Right.
that.
But a lot of guys who exert this unnecessary form of dominance and
Mm.
bashing another gender and try to create dominance, that is little anatomy energy. That's as clean as I'll get it. It's a very little
SDE.
We get it.
SDE.
We get it.
SDE. Yeah.
Yeah. I
SDE.
agree. They're
And
overcompensating for something that they're lacking.
Exactly. Yep.
right, but you know, it's funny. Most of the ones, I don't want to start any issues on your channel
Yeah.
because like you know how I go. But most of the ones that have that SDE or little anatomy, energy,
Yeah.
um, you can see it, right? You can actually see the hatred they have for women. It's like
Mm,
it's almost like it's like an aura they give, right? And any man that has women or have access to women or options to women, if a woman doesn't comply to what you want, then you just move on. Why are you cursing at her? Why are you
yeah.
screaming at her? Why are you making her feel bad? Okay, you don't want to follow suit. I'll find someone else. But these
Yeah.
guys sit behind the computer, and these are not the ones that the women want anyway.
Yeah.
It's no man that I don't know where you get the time to talk about women all day.
Yeah.
I don't know how
And
that works.
well, and the thing is, when you have bitter, broken men
Right.
that have gone through things, and you speak like that, they're going to support you. They're going to give
Mm.
you money because you make them feel good. And I think, like I've gotten a lot of heat since I posted up a short
You got a
advice.
ton of heat.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Ton of
heat.
heat.
A
Yeah.
lot of heat.
But guess
Yeah.
what? They got a ton of heat online, but they'll never do it on site.
They probably won't.
Dre, if you
Yeah.
ever have any type of physical pressure, call me. You know I'm pulling up, and you know this ain't no internet tough guy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
always ready for that type
Yeah.
of smoke. But let's move forward in positivity. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dre.
I've invited them to live conversations, and they say they'll agree, but when I set it up, they never show up. And again, like I'm the type that I don't have to be right. I don't mind engaging in conversation. We can disagree because I think if we disagree, what you're going to give me is going to teach me something that I may not know, or something that I can constructively think about, critically think about to enhance my argument. But a lot of these,
Mm.
broken men, bitter men, they don't care about the truth. They don't care about what will help them grow. They just want to be bitter, and they want people to tell them that they're okay. I'm not going to co-sign toxicity. It's not going to happen
Right.
in men or women. So if they want to have a conversation, I've invited them online for a live conversation. I've even offered to have private conversations with them,
Mm.
and not one time has anybody ever accepted the offer.
You know what would be cool? Honest to goodness, and I'm saying this in all maturity. If Dre, especially since Dre and myself from New York, if we just did a New York in person meetup, invite two young ladies that we know individually, each of us, and have an actual sit down that is not about exposing and pointing fingers, but it's actually about understanding logic, then
Mm,
that will be beneficial. Now,
mm,
again, a whole community will not hide. An entire community who has a strong belief system in what they believe and they purport it, they're getting paid via monetization sources on
mm.
YouTube and other platforms.
Yeah, yeah.
They will see it as an opportunity to rep their community. I surely believe that. But then again, maybe that's the HBC think tank mindset that I have. Like, if you put people who disagree with you in a room and you have a conversation, that if they're level headed, no matter if you disagree with them, there
You
will
go
be an understanding of logic on either side.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree
And,
with that.
Mm.
and 3 out of 4 of us are in New York, so we can definitely make something like that happen.
Yeah. I'm in New York. I'm
Or
in
you
New
can
York.
do in person and then have it live stream.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like a town hall.
Yeah, like a town hall. It's the mob mentality, right? And what they're trying to do is make the playing grounds fair for them in
Mm,
regards to bagging women or the acquisition of a partner, right?
mhm.
They're doing everything to say, okay, listen, we are the new status quo. So if you don't comply, you don't get any perks, right? But that doesn't work in real life.
Yeah,
It doesn't. It doesn't work in real life. What works in real life is you being an accomplished individual, but still not being too rigid to help another woman understand what her place in your life. Once again, it goes back to time management. Where do you have the time to complain? Like it's
yeah.
like like how do you like it kills me because I'm in New York. It's the cost of living is expensive. If you like certain things, you like certain type of woman, where do you have the time to complain? And it's kind of like if you are who you are, those women are going to find you, or they're going to make themselves available to you.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure who are these men that they can't find the woman that they want. And where do they find the time to complain about it?
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
You know where they find the time, and this is an assumption. This reminds me of part of me showing my age, but like early '90s, you used to see like these certain shock jocks and all these certain televangelists who would just spew hate every day.
Yep.
People make the time when they have monetization funnels that support their nonsense. That's how they make the time,
Mm,
because time is
Yeah.
money. And again, this is
right,
my trying to shoot them some bail of
right,
understanding right now. But people who complain a lot, the internet is filled with people who feed off of negativity. And if
right.
they feed off it, people will cash app them for that negativity. So I
Yeah.
believe that they're making time because they're monetizing off their nonsense.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
hey, Khalif, I said that a long time ago too. I said a lot of these bigger YouTubers who are monetized, a lot of them just say what they say, not because they really believe it, but because they know it'll get them paid. That's it. They don't. A lot of
Right.
them don't believe half of what they say. So I just think they do it for the money because they know it'll generate an audience. That's it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's how I know that Kevin, there's going to be a reckoning for people. Anybody who does negative, listen, the universe does not lie. Whether you
Right.
believe in the Bible or whatever religious
Right.
text, it has universal law. Whatever you put out, it's going to come back to you
Yeah. You reap
tenfold.
what you sow.
That's a universal law. And I think that unfortunately for Brother Samuels, who's very astute, speaks very well and things of that nature, there's going to be a reckoning, and not a reckoning in a canceled form. And I hope that he doesn't cross the wrong female and or the wrong male, because as we're seeing by the current time frame, people are getting really crazy and clout thirsty
Right.
to the
Yeah.
point where they will try to physically harm somebody
Right.
because they disagree with them so bad. And we've seen the
Yeah.
ripple effects in hip hop and in
Right.
other communities. And that's what I'm scared of. I'm like, listen, Brother Samuels, do your thing, but just recognize that for every action, there's an equal reaction. And
Mhm.
the internet is a very negative environment where people thrive off it and want to cut you down for clout.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny. Just a little pushback on Khalif because he's been hitting every point. But just a little pushback. I don't think the reckoning or the karma is going to go towards Kevin Samuels. I actually believe that it's going to go to what on the block Jen says, his minions. They are
Yep.
going that the wave, not him, because he will always be like this pioneer for that particular portion of the red pill. But the wave, those who follow the wave, they're going to get washed away. I think all his minions are going to feel the heat. It's a shift. It's a paradigm shift, and the paradigm shift is not just it's happening like with you, uh, 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 Dre, me. It's happening, and it's gonna. And it might not be just from the ladies. It's gonna be from men who, like myself, who's 41, not married, doesn't have any kids, that are getting the woman that they want without talking down to them, right? Those are the guys that's going to stand up and rise to the occasion and make that whole wave or that whole school of thought get washed away. I believe.
Let me quickly add a thought to what you just said, because
Right.
I agree with an extent of your pushback. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sociologist at heart, and I always
Mm-hmm.
like to study different cultures, and patterns don't lie.
Right.
Fanaticism at its core is somebody from a community that looks up to a figurehead that would not usually be affected by something.
Right.
And there's negative repercussions when the fanatic doesn't get the energy reciprocated. Do you agree with
Mm-hmm.
that?
I agree with that. Absolutely.
For instance, Selena's manager.
Right.
The jealousy roared so much for her
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
being a fanatic that in her mind, the deadly logic was, if she doesn't do what I want, nobody can, and I can't have her the way that I want, nobody can
Mm-hmm.
have her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy since Cain and Abel has been thriving. And that's why I worry about Kevin Samuels. Fresh and Fit are bodying themselves right now, as you see by what's
Yeah.
going on right now
It's
by people who
horrible.
Yeah.
promote.
They're
It's
non-factors
horrible.
right now.
But no, no, no. Hold on. Are they
Yeah.
bodying themselves, or was it someone on the opposite end that revealed who they really were, Abba and Preacher?
It was the young lady from the, what is it, 2 episodes ago, the young lady that exposed
Right.
that basically one of the guys was paying for her to pull up, and then another young lady exposed it. But
Right.
again, here's the thing. Pardon me for growing up in the hood, but everybody that grew up on the block knows what's up. The loudmouth always gets it. And I'm sorry to present that fact logic, but I'm sorry, not sorry. And plus, for the ones that's, here from New York, you know what type of time it is.
Yeah.
People are thirsty, and people that search for clout
We on
just
time
to
then.
do something to somebody who has social power, They will harm
Right.
somebody for clout. And I'm not being a negative Nelly, but it's just facts. History has shown these facts to be true.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So
Mm.
back to the red pill, like everything that you guys were saying is true.
Right.
And I think that what we're starting to see is there was a an insurgence of red pill manosphere type of content,
Right.
especially as we went to the closing down of the world, and everybody took to YouTube, and now everybody's trying to consume content that they think would make them feel better, and now there's
Right.
an implosion happening within that space,
Right.
and you got people like Fresh and Fit, who I've shared about on my channel, who again, when it comes to social media and YouTube, you just need an audience, and if you can get them to believe something that may not necessarily be true about you, but then they're willing to adopt it, you got yourself a following. The problem with this is that people essentially are sheep.
Right.
People are looking for somebody to follow. Sheep look for a shepherd to follow. They will follow. They will follow another sheep to their slaughter, or they'll follow a shepherd, whether it be a toxic shepherd or a good shepherd. Right?
Hmm.
They'll follow somebody, and I think that one of the things I want to see from men, just in general, is that they would stop blindly following people just because they're tickling their emotions, and become wise and logical when it comes to aligning with somebody who may have some areas where they agree with, but also being critical to the point where they can say, I don't agree with everything. So, you know, I'm my own person. I stand on my own. And there's a lack of that in that community. There's a
Right.
lack of it. And I just want to see men be men. Like,
But
think for yourself.
once we focus on the power source of any community, then you
Yeah.
can decide is longevity and level of strength, or it's flash in the panism, should I say. And the red pill community purports a lot of points, and they claim what they're trying to show is that their power source is based on their logic. Logic is
Yeah.
based on facts.
Yeah.
And
Right.
facts that can be disproved destroys core logics of any community, which is why communities disband. Pardon
Yeah.
me for being nerdy, but it is what it is. Like,
Well, that's
the,
a good point.
No,
if people
that's a
from
great point.
Yeah.
if people from any community really strongly believe in their community, they have what? They have credos. Like the
Right.
Black Panthers, had the 10 points.
Right.
Mhm.
Fraternities, sororities have models and things of that nature. Every
Hmm.
strong community has points, but from what I'm seeing from the predominance of the red pill community is emotion,
Yeah.
insults,
Yeah.
bashing, but their foundative logic is flawed. If you think about the foundative logic that unites everyone in the red pill community, whether it's somebody that does something good for men or somebody that
Hmm.
bashes women, they have foundative logic. But when that foundative logic has to sit down and defend itself from a fact-based area against other logic, lies can't prevail in the presence of facts unless those
Yeah.
lies can create diversive strategies to pull somebody off of their square, so to say. Does
But
everybody
that's what
follow
they,
what I'm saying?
yeah, but that's what they do. But that's what they
I,
do. What they
right.
do is
That's
they
what they
take,
do.
yeah, they take like, so let's like, so if you read the comments and the negative comments, they'll say things like Kevin Samuel speaks facts. He comes from statistics and data, right? The
Hmm.
problem is this. He'll read, and this is with anybody. Anybody is able to twist any kind of data,
Right.
all right? And again, on this channel, we're scholars in a sense. So we also know that what we're not going to do is formulate a whole idea based off of one source of data, right? Which Mr. Samuels tend to only use one source, blackdemographics.com, which could be
Yeah.
reputable. But what I'm not going to do is, because that's not what scholars do, that's not what academics do. They're not going to go and formulate a concept based off of one source of data. That's number one. Two,
Right.
if one person is reading the data, right, and not understanding the variables that makes up the data, you can just come up with the single number and saying, look, this is what it is because the data shows that. Let's stop for a second. How was the data collected? What are the
Right.
variables involved in the data? What
Right.
what what demographic is the data focusing on? And what we tend to do is, because one person who sounds intelligent
Hmm.
come with some information, use the keywords. I use data and
Right.
statistics to formulate my ideas. Then we don't want to argue with it, or we want to argue for them, saying, well, they came up with data. And I think what you just said, Khalif, is a good point. Very good point. And again, there's a lot of people that don't want to look at the actual data or go to the sources that these people cite and really look into it.
Right.
I'm not gonna, like, yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So so a little pushback. They are not a school of thought. They're not based off logic. They're based off ethos,
Mm,
right? So with that being said, they're cults, and what a
mm,
cult does is gives information and repels everything else.
yeah, yeah.
You understand? So you're giving them too much credit when you say they're based on logic. They're not. And also,
Mm,
what makes them strong is the ethos. And also, what makes them even stronger is the structure.
mm,
Because this is a cult, but it's structured like a multi-tier marketing scheme. So, what you consider infighting, no, that's us choosing a new ranking order,
yeah,
right? So every time they lose someone like fresh and fit, they have someone in the background ready to take that place
that place. Yeah.
immediately. That's how they operate. So the only way to beat them is to, and like I said, it's got to be a shift of paradigm with people that they want to be like,
Mm,
that has the life that they want,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then those people have to come to the front. But they're not a school of thought. They're not based off of logic. It's an ethos, and with ethos, you can say whatever you want to say because it's the feeling. It's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
common denominator feeling that keeps us pushing, and whatever supports that, wherever supports that particular fire of ethos, we're gonna throw it inside a flame and make it brighter. And
Mm,
that's what we have to understand. We're dealing with these people are Kevin Samuels is give him a little bit more credit than you think
yeah,
because he knows what he's doing. He's like,
yeah. He
if
does.
you want to be lieutenant, if you want to be sergeant, if you want to be first star general, then you have to kill the person ahead of you or be ready to take that person's place.
Mm,
So he
But
yeah.
doesn't care. He doesn't care whoever is fighting because he's still going to be on top.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you used. I'm sorry. I'm glad you used the words MLM, multi-level marketing type scheme,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
cult. And I never forget when I was in college. I got a psych degree with a specialization on leadership and cults, oddly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I always was interested in the logic of how people would basically fall to their death off of the charismatic conversation of men and women worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
And in my study, there's a parallel. It's a simple formula. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
people want to be like that person. First.
Mm,
Second, the person speaks with clarity and charisma, i.e.,
Yes.
the man in Germany in the 1930s, which I will not say the name because I don't want Dre to
yeah,
be
yeah.
flagged. Um,
Oh wow,
um,
that's crazy.
their system of false logic, because there
Yeah,
is logic. There's
yeah.
false logic, and then there's logic, which is based on facts.
Right.
Yeah.
And lastly, somebody that has idioms or things that they run to. And I never forget when I grew up doing sales. I don't know if anybody's here done sales before. I used to cold call for
Mm.
years, illegally and legally. And when you cold call on the phone, no matter what type of rebuttal somebody gave to you, you had a rebuttal book. And then you had a diversion strategy, and then all these things. But one thing where you can always call the person out is over time. Last I checked,
Mm.
just because I believe that an iron won't burn me. Like I have my 6-year-old daughter, I never forget it when she burnt herself in an iron. Daddy, my friend said this, you can't get burned with an iron. And I turned my back, she burnt her hand with an iron.
Yeah.
And I was like, no matter what the opinions say, science is science.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We got Chef, the creator of the True
A
Pill.
true pill. Yep.
What up,
The
Chef?
creator of the true pill.
What's going on, fellas? How's
What's going on,
everybody
Chef?
doing today?
Doing well, bro.
Man, this conversation is crazy. I just got some crazy news too. I know this may not be the topic, but peace and love out to Virgil Abloh, and
Yeah, he
and,
passed away.
and rest in
Yeah.
peace. Virgil Abloh is one of the most prolific and youngest people out there, and trust me, there's a tie-in.
Mm,
You know, he was one of those people that was able to. Best thing I could say is break out of the matrix
mm,
that Kanye had been talking about in terms of the matrix that controls a lot of what happens within fashion and high fashion. You guys remember the Sway, you don't have all the answers. You know, you
yeah.
guys remember that interview,
Yeah.
you know, where Sway was almost patronizing him and he told him and every single thing he said that he was supposed to have done, he's eventually done since that point. And Virgil was one of the pieces. He was, in terms of Louis Vuitton, in terms of Off-White, in terms of him designing the original Yeezys. You know, Virgil was a major piece, and he's someone that helped break folks out of the matrix, break out people that believed that there was only certain things we can do, you know, and only that we were limited to certain places. That means some sort of psychological boundaries, walls, ceilings, floors were placed within people's mental, you know. Because when you think about a matrix, right, what's so crazy is some people think about this matrix as the movie The Matrix, you know, but like one of the definitions, one of the Oxford definitions of matrix is the one we know: an environment or material in which something develops, a surrounding medium or structure. A surrounding medium or structure, which means that if we're fish, our surrounding medium is water, right? But normally when people look at definitions, they always go to the first one. They never really look at the second and third. And sometimes that's where the true depth of the word, or what I say, the additional facets of the diamond that you have to turn to see. Watch this. The second definition is a mass of fine-grained rock in which gems, crystals, or fossils are embedded. So when we use that rock terminology, think about it. A matrix is something that's pretty much designed to hold you in place, to hold you in stasis. It's designed to hold you in place, to hold you in stasis. And it's the medium, the matrix, or that surrounding mass that's going to be the thing that will determine your movement or lack thereof. All right? So now, I think about myself and understanding not matrices, but the term is matrices, the multiple, you know, there's matrix everywhere. I believe that a lot of our matrices exist within our own brain, within our own mindset. How fluid, that's why we talk about fluidity of thought, you know, and how fluid you are. And Bruce Lee talking about be like water. You know, the thing is, we create our own individual matrices, and even before it goes out there, all of the information, all of the nature and nurture that we gather up is the cement or the concrete or the brick, the mortar that actually builds that matrix within our mind that locks us in. You know, so in order for us to be able to break it, I definitely understand, because what King is saying is right in terms of what he noticed about that whole community. But when we take that true pill, for instance, the thing is that true pill is not just for us to see exactly what's out there within the ecosystem. It's also an internal look into ourselves to understand how we impact or are impacted by that ecosystem.
You know, it's funny. You know, it's funny because you know, when Chef came up with the true pill concept, I said our sphere, but the truth pill concept is based on what you said earlier in this live stream, which is objectivity. That's what the true pill concept really means, objectivity. And for you to speak any facts or logic or truth, whatever you want to call it, you have to have objectivity. And that's what I think where you and Chef connect, where y'all rest in a place of objectivity. And that's the only way you're going to get to an answer. So even on my page, it's called Conversations with Kings, because we have solution-based conversations. But at some point, we have to remove ourselves and look and have some type of objectivity about the situation itself. And like, I'm just happy to meet all y'all brothers, man. All the brothers, the two brothers on top, y'all always welcome to my page, because y'all like,
oh, I done been to your page. Yeah, I love your page, bro.
Oh, I appreciate that. Like, what happens is it's a shift, right? Like, let me show you how bad the shift is. And Khalif he could explain it better than me. I started my first video 6 weeks ago, and I got monetized. That means I got 1,000 subscribers, over 4,000 watch out, because there is a need for the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a need for Harrison. There's a need for Chef. There's a need for Khalif. There's a need for On the Block Jen. It's a need for everybody on the panel right now because people are starting to realize what's going on. There's a need. There's a need. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There's a need for the
What?
real because cap is in preponderance. I'll repeat. There's a need for the real. Cap is in preponderance.
Yeah. And Khalif, real quick.
I'll tell
Khalif,
you one quick lesson I learned growing up in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I grew up around first generation Americans, people that came fresh from yard Jamaica, fresh from yard Trini, fresh, so on and so forth. And I remember
how old are you? I'm sorry, how old are you?
I'm 45, fam, but I'm not as lucky as you being unmarried and out in them streets. Lucky man.
Yo, you said you was in Crown Heights. Did you grow up near President Street?
Nah, deep between Franklin and Bedford. You know the vibes. We can talk more online.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like all of us could talk Brooklyn because I grew up not far from Lincoln Terrace Park.
We all know what the lusciousness of a beef patty with cocoa bread tastes like at lunchtime. Let's just keep it there. But what I will say is this. The Rastafarians taught me a lesson early. I never forget when I was on a stoop and there was some pretty girls, on the corner at the corner store. And the typical red pill mindset I call this is even in the 90s. Now I'm not going to talk to her because she's a this. Now women are this. And I remember the Rasta dude balked on them. And this is a real man doesn't talk, a real man does. And if you're really about that, you can go up there and have a conversation, win or fail. At least you had the conversation. And that taught me the lesson. The only way to break through fear is repetition. And that summer, I gladly walked into rejection every day on the way to school, every day during lunchtime, every day on the C train coming back and getting off on Nostrand and Franklin. Rejection. But that built up a mindset that when you work hard at something, you don't have like the conversation when King said, you don't have the time to waste with negativity. Because whether you go to the gym or whether you work hard at art, whatever your craft is, when you work hard at a craft, the skill set and the mindset you have is towards progress and not a regression mindset. Does everybody follow me, or did I fly over your heads real quick?
No, you got it. You hit it right.
Yep. You doing your thing.
And I'm not going to lie. Dre's been telling me for months. My wife's been telling me for months. Everybody's been telling me I do need to start a channel for sure.
So what's up?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Because
yes, you do.
I want to speak to other intellects so we can break down, issues like this, because cap is at an all-time high. And there are two types of people in the world. And pardon me for the New York side of me, but those are the people who talk inside and people who are always outside on the block. And now it's for me to hold myself accountable. I need to start my channel and get outside on the block because I don't want women being disrespected because I come from a family full of women and I have a 6-year-old daughter.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. I just don't get it. They act like they were born, they were dropped off by a stalk or something like that. Like you have a mother, right? And one of the things, it's funny, my mother told me, said, you could do whatever you want. Because, I talked to her. I'm from Ghana. My parents are from Ghana, born and raised in Brownsville. And she said, but just don't disrespect women.
Yeah.
Just don't disrespect. And that doesn't mean that don't defend yourself or don't make any corrections, but you don't have to disrespect women because it makes me as your mother look bad.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I don't understand how they move like that. I just don't get it. But we don't see them outside anyway, to be honest with you. I really don't. I'm outside. I'm really outside, in the events, the lounges, the restaurants you should be in, and they're not outside. Trust me on that. They're not.
Because everybody knows you can't talk that crazy in person. And maybe because I'm 45, I know that I got OGs. I'm 45 and I have OGs. And even if I come out my face, I will be physically corrected. And that's just, maybe I grew up different. I know I will be corrected on site. And this community has no correction. And any community without correction or accountability is a cult and it's running rampant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I told them all the time, like I say on my channel too, I know people that are really active in the streets, and what happens is I always hear this, I gotta go home before she kills me. Hold up, you a gang leader and you gotta run home before she kills you? You gotta understand, real men, real warriors, real tough guys have a woman that keeps their life in order or helps them see life from a different perspective,
Yeah.
and they understand that. So you can't be this tough guy and be demeaning to women, because I know real tough guys who really listen to women, like listen, adhere to them. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
It's
Let's
true.
talk about that.
And the one word that unites that is order.
Yes.
A system without
yes,
order
System.
and
Yep.
accountability will run
Chaos.
amok. I've taught in schools and nonprofit organizations since 2006, and I primarily work with Bloods, Crips, and Latin Kings as a vocational trainer, youth counselor. And one thing I've always learned from every school, even when I worked in Brownsville Academy, off of
okay,
Sutter, and I worked in that
yes,
school. That school was a strictly Blood and Crip school that was divided. They
yes,
would not accept me unless I respected the order while making a standard
right.
or
I'm familiar.
face
Yeah.
I'm
the
familiar with this
outside
school.
on Rutland repercussion. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
so
I'm familiar.
order is the unifier to any community. Order,
Yeah.
any
Right.
functioning community. Order and accountability and respect.
Yes. I want to jump in on that one in terms of order. Because a lot of time when people think about order, they think about order as some sort of structural, some sort of
Friction.
structural thing or infrastructural thing externally.
Yeah.
And I don't think some people even understand that order goes a little deeper than that. And this is going to tie into what King was saying about the lady and what you guys were saying about having your lady. One thing there's one thing with YouTube, and then you have something else where there's no rules. There's that other platform called Discord, right?
Hmm.
But if you understand
Yeah.
the true meaning of Discord, it pretty much means chaos, unbridled chaos, right?
Yeah.
So now when we seek order, do we just sit and think like a stoic Shaolin monk and then give order to ourselves? No. What we do for order is we control ourselves, we channel ourselves and our energies. But the other part is what we surround ourselves with. Order is almost what you can call the feng shui of your life.
Mm.
The way that you control how you as an individual, emotionally, spiritually, physically, will ebb and flow within the waters of the environment you got around you. You can't control the ocean. So if you're a ship in the ocean, the ship is gonna move as the water ebbs and flows. But in a less fluid dynamic like where we exist in, we have the opportunity to create that order in which by what we surround ourselves. Remember, I said we create our own matrices individually.
Right.
Yep.
Somebody who might be out there in that street who's a lion tamer to 100 lions that's ready to eat food out there in them streets. Even he recognizes that in order to do that magnanimous job, which takes a lot of time, will, strength, discipline, that he has to order his own personal life in a certain way.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Discipline. Remember, some folks don't understand that. Folks that run the street, cats that hustle, they have more discipline at times than a person that's working a 9 to 5 because they have to dodge the cops, the ops. They have to dodge the people that's trying to hustle them, the fiends or whatever. There's a whole lot of stuff that they have to do and be disciplined at. Don't talk on the phone. Don't do this and that. Don't have this at the house. So it's all about order. And we do things, those of us that are wise, what we put around us is one of the ways that we create order within our own lives.
Yeah.
We
And
build, go ahead.
no,
The
yeah,
red pill has
that's your
order.
point.
The red pill has order, though. The
So, but
red pill has order.
here's a question though. So again, we talked a little bit about this last night. Can you have like structural order without integrity?
I
Mm.
don't think so.
Here's the
No.
thing. Here's the thing with that. So, you can have a structure. It can have order. If it doesn't have structural integrity, it'll crumble at the first hint of any kind of weight
Yes.
or storm or whatever. So not only do we got to accept order and build a structure based on order, but we also got to determine whether or not that structure has integrity to it as well. Because once that's what's going to make sure that the structure stands. After chaos happens, because here's what's going to happen, and this is definite. No matter what order you try to establish, there's going to be somebody or something or factors that chaotic factors that try to stir up things. But if that structure is built on integrity and order, it's not going to
Mhm.
break. And I think
So
that
how
that's
about
Yeah.
yeah,
so,
yeah, bro.
here's what I believe about with why some of the pieces I don't, and the red pill community is what got me into this YouTube space. Started watching, when
Wow.
Kevin Samuels was 70,000 subscribers. I started watching this time last year,
He
early
grew
November,
fast, man. He grew
of
like real fast.
bro,
Yeah.
from 70,000
Crazy.
to 1.27 million. Okay,
Yeah.
that quickly. And one thing I'll say that in terms of order, you mentioned infrastructure and the integrity of that, the structural integrity of that structure, right?
Yeah.
That structural integrity doesn't come when you build the foundation,
Mhm.
when you lay the foundation, rather. That structural integrity doesn't come when you start setting up the frame of the house, of the home. The structural integrity is something that you, the contractor, the architect, or the builder, the carpenter actually does by undergirding. They undergird what was already put up there, which
Mhm.
means that there was a structure there, and then they started placing what's called load-bearing walls, right,
Mm.
in order to take
Mm.
off some of the pressure. A lot of times, there's folks that feel like bringing a woman into their life will create a certain level of order.
Mhm.
And that is true for many people. I've had some of my homies that got their crib, nice house. They the best home. They the best thing they did. They're like, yeah, man, I gotta get me a lady in there, man, to turn this thing
Yeah.
into a home, man. I don't
Yeah.
know about this
Right.
flower stuff, bro.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then you see what King said. He was like, the dude that lords over lions is like, yo, I gotta get home to wifey. Why? He created, not, let's not call it a deity, but he recognizes that was she is the undergird. She is the load bearing wall to
Mhm.
be able to remember the whole flowers and rocks that's going
Yeah.
to
Right.
breathe life into him when the street he's expended that energy, and she uses photosynthesis to breathe the air back into him based
Mm.
on his old expelled carbon dioxide. That's one of
Mm.
the things. That's one of the things. But that red pill community will not allow us to think in that manner. And that's where I believe a certain amount of the order has been removed. That's why you go into some of the platforms and you hear some of these folks talk to our flowers, talk to our sisters in certain ways, because that piece of order has been eliminated from that dynamic, you know?
Yeah.
So, so go ahead.
No, I'm
I
sorry,
can
sir. Go
flow
ahead.
all day on this, man.
No, no. I was just what you guys are all saying. I'm hearing the commonalities: order, discipline as the root source for all growth. Thirdly, communities running amok. And the phrase that keeps popping in my mind is history repeats itself. And I remember, like Dre said earlier, I'm a big reader. I don't know everything, but I know that to me everything is strategy. I grew up on Art of War, reading it like literally annually as a child,
Yes,
Yeah.
things of that nature. And I was always fascinated by strategy because growing up in Brooklyn in the 90s as a DJ during the DCEP and Low Life era, if you all can recall,
Oh
you
man,
need
bro.
to you
they
need to
started in Brooklyn Tech. DSET started in Brooklyn Tech.
facts. And I
Yeah.
went to Bishop Loughlin, got kicked out of there, went to
Down the block.
graphic
You
arts.
went to Lachlan?
Yeah, bro, I got kicked out of 7 high schools. It's another story. I
This is
want to be
reunion.
guest
This
on
is
y'all show
reunion.
when I launch my show. I'm just gonna put that out there. But what I will
Yeah,
say,
you are. You
history
are. You
history
family.
repeats itself. And if you want to see the longevity of a red pill community, you can clearly see it through history. When you get a chance, because I've been reading up a little bit on this, reading on the rise and fall of Chinese dynasties.
Hmm.
And then when you read on even Roman empires, certain families' houses, monarchs in Europe, every community or every fad or everything, how the Roman Empire was built, you can actually see the pattern of history repeat itself in different organizations that we have now, whether it's Red Pill community, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's Blue Lives Matter, which is another conversation for another day. But every community or any a force, Black Panther Party, so on and so forth. The triple letters that spell out kite, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it on this
Mhm.
channel. I'm just going to say this.
Yeah.
Every community has the same pattern of growth, and you can gauge how far the red pill community go. Strike the shepherd, the sheep will shatter, but the sheep will create factions. Like Chef said about
Yeah.
matrices. But history repeats itself. And again, we're humans. We're here for a finite amount of time. And, and
Right.
and the creative has seen this happen over and over and over again. And that's why I like books, because it teaches me the stratagem of what happened in the past and the repeated type of fanaticism that's occurring now as if it's brand new.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, Chef just met his twin brother. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Listen,
think, Khalif, and I'm going to put you on blast right now if you don't mind, and
There
if you
we
don't
go.
mind, it's too bad. So when's the launch?
Right.
You know me, Dre. I don't put like this. You know what? I missed the trial and error. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
launch can be first week of January, knowing me.
Okay.
Like knowing me. And you know, Dre, if I put my word on it, I'm gonna do it, even if
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't do it right, because I believe that you find out more by trying than sitting and thinking. So if you're
Yeah.
gonna put pressure on me,
Mhm.
then boom, first week of January.
All
Bet.
right.
Right. You know, it's funny. It's funny because Chef has this thing he says, and he used it for my show because literally he says you're building a plane while you're in the air.
Yeah.
yeah, building the plane
It,
while we flying it.
We're
Yep.
flying it. Yeah.
so we're literally building the plane while we flying it, and I think people see the organic vibe that comes with that. So I just encourage you, Khalif, man. You don't even have to wait that long because it's really coming back to content.
Mm,
Like it's coming back. The YouTube streets is coming back to content.
yeah.
You could be like Chef says. He's shooting from a potato. You know what I mean? He shoots from a potato, but people still come and show love, and because they want that content. They want that content, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, if you've been drinking Alizé for your whole life, and then one day someone gives you a shot of Casa Dragones, you're like, you know what? I gotta change my life. I
But you
gotta
got to give a
change my life.
backstory. You got to get a
Right.
backstory. The potato.
Give the backstory.
The
Give
back.
the backstory.
So the backstory was we started doing our thing, and there was of course, another network that King had started on. And as we started making our moves over the course of a week and a half, started pulling in a lot of subscribers, a lot of views. The engagement was through the roof.
Through the
There
roof.
started being some subliminal messages talking about, yeah, those other new content creators. Oh, you got to get your equipment right. You look at this, look at that, and it kind of triggered me. So there was one day I gave a little monologue, a little soliloquy, and I said, "I know, man. Listen, guys, I'm not a YouTube guy. This thing is more therapy for me. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm a chef, I'm a music guy, I'm a corporate executive. This is therapy for me, man. So just me being able to share the truth with you is okay. And yeah, for those guys that say yes, I'm filming from a potato, but it's okay because that does not reduce that's what I said. I said I'm
Yeah. The
filming from a
content.
potato, right? And I said it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because the truth and veracity with everything which I say makes it that more powerful. And I said, remember this: Jesus came in riding a donkey. And that was the mic drop statement. But yes, our
Yeah.
truth and the content of what we had, it supersedes the production value because this is not about production. This is more about instruction.
Right.
Mm,
About instruction, about correction, about in corporate America what we call a stop, start, and continue.
yeah.
Allowing people to understand what we should stop doing, what we should start doing, or what we should continue doing.
Mm,
And that weighs more. That weighs more. All of us didn't have to have a picture on here. We could just have a little circle with a letter in there. Would that reduce the amount of power? It
yeah.
might reduce the amount of drama because you won't see the face and you see the way Harrison he strokes the
So
beard like I
I gotta be
do
honest.
when
I
he's
gotta be honest.
thinking.
But this. I gotta keep this up though.
No, no, no,
This
no, no,
I'm
no, no.
never
See,
I'm
he
never going to
flexing.
stop this.
You
No, 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 no,
you
no, no, no.
flexing with the stream deck right now, Dre, or the Atom
Dre,
Mini?
Dre,
The
Dre,
Adam
don't get
it's a mini. Yeah.
Jay,
Yeah.
don't get it twisted. The equipment and the production you have is necessary, and
Yes.
that's why you have what you
Yeah.
the numbers you have, and you're gonna definitely excel even more. But for us, for me and Chef, because of what we were trying to prove to the other network, we we're
Mm,
trying to let them know that this is a social experiment from us, for
gotcha.
us. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were going to prove to you that we could get monetized in in,
What you
in,
did.
a, in a month to just to prove to you it's based on content.
Yeah.
Content alone it's enough to get you recognized, right? But
Yeah.
now when we aspire to go to your level, then we have to have the complete package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I appreciate the encouragement, and it'd be all super transparent. And Dre knows. Dre, just keep it real. Dre's known me for like what, 15 years
Yeah,
Damn.
about that. Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
in person and stuff like that. And Dre knows when I come through, I have an energy, and like having an energy is being responsible. And I'm trying to say this without sounding crazy, statistical, but Dre knows that I am strongly opinionated. Dre's been at dinners at diners where I've had healthy debates with people, but people got so tight that the energy shifted. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I put like this to make it simple. The reason I never posted online like that is for two reasons. Number one, I like to be low key. I am 6'6", 300 pounds. I look like a security guard. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm imposing to start with. You feel what I'm saying?
I'll mess with you, man. I'll mess
Yo,
with
you know what I'm
you.
saying? So
Oh
I've
man, you are
always
funny. You
never,
are funny.
because of my physical stature, I
The
never liked
security
attention.
guard. You described WWE wrestler,
E.
bro.
Did so because when Dre and I have been at a conference or a
Right.
dinner or meeting at somebody's house,
So
he's seen me for 15 strong years having
so
debates with people.
so
And Dre has
Kwame.
seen the effects and the outcomes of those debates. And
Right.
that's why I've kept myself offline, because I was like, yo, if I take this energy that I know that is super strong and put it online, yeah, monetization will come and things of that nature. But I also know the responsibility of any form of popularity.
Right.
And just to give you
Right.
some backstory, I went to the first historically black college, Wilberforce University. Big up if anybody here is alumni, whatever like that. That's number one.
Mhm.
And I never forget when I became the first half black, half Puerto Rican student government president,
Get
the
out of here.
responsibility of popularity and power when you have a voice or a platform. Then after that, I came to New York, and Dre remembers this. I was big in the gospel rap community and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I had to shake some people down because they did something crazy on their platforms, and I'm reactionary. You feel what I'm saying? So the reason I
Right.
kept myself off platforms, because I know I'm opinionated, but I got a hot fucking temper in person. You feel what I'm saying? Not
Okay,
online.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
And,
saying. I get
and
what
I'm the
you're saying.
type of dude that's my therapist to
I know
say.
what you're saying.
He's
I know
like,
what you're saying.
my
I know what
therapist
you're
used to
saying.
say, lock yourself in the bathroom before you press that Uber to somebody's address, because you're mimicking what Rikers will feel like if you play yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, it's public information. I don't do anything because I'm on probation. You feel me? So I have the same type of energy you have, but because I have too much to lose, right? If you Google my name, you can see what I did and everything. I have a lot to lose, and positive and negative, right? So I don't. What I came into the mindset because I'm around. I used to be, not now, currently, letting everybody know. I used to be around certain type of individuals. That's why I don't take anybody on YouTube seriously, because I know what I've been around. You understand? I know. So I know I don't take them seriously. They're never going to show up. They're never going to do anything to you, unless you want to end up like my brethren Taxstone, right? And the last time I saw Taxstone was in the Feds. And so I don't want to end up like that, because he had a big lane, and you have a tremendous gift. If you don't want to have your own pay, you can come on my show every time if you want.
Yeah. Actually, he's going
Because
live tonight, by the way, Khalif.
oh, what?
You're going live tonight, right?
No, I'm not going live tonight. I'm going live tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
put
I
up
got you.
early, so everybody get ready.
Got you.
So I'm going.
Now,
I
I
go
might
live.
with
I might
that.
go live tonight. Y'all stirred something up. I might
Yeah.
go live tonight. So
Right.
subscribe. You'll see some. I'm dropping some uploads as well.
Right, and that's a good thing too, Khalif. You don't have to even do your own thing. Just go around to different people's channels that you get your point across, and it's gonna happen naturally. But I
And
definitely
the
like one
crowd
day
is going to ask you to create the crowd and
they're
the
gonna
audience will ask you to create your own page.
Yeah, I know
absolutely.
Dre is laughing because Dre's been telling me this before YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to be in Dre's crib, right, Dre? Like
Yeah.
2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be like, yo, Khalid, feel like you got to chill. And I was like, no, people just getting tight because they don't see their logic in their face. I'll take the L when necessary, but it's just that I've been in situations where people get so hot that it gets hot. And again, Dre can vouch for everything I'm saying. Tell me I'm lying, Dre.
No, you're true. Like even Khalif and I have had discussions and debates and I can't front like I took an L on a few of them.
No, I
You know,
took L on a few of them because I
both of
played
us. But
myself when it came to you. Because
yeah,
you don't give negative energy to positive resources. And that's where
Mm.
maturity comes. And again, I'll say it in front of everybody on your platform right now. Dre, I apologize for being an a-hole in the past. You feel me?
I love you, bro.
Because
Like that's
men who
in the
react
past.
with emotion when
Yeah.
faced with positive energy, that's insecurity. And I'll point out my
Man.
own when needed. You feel
Yeah,
That's
me?
that's
real.
deep.
That's
That's
real.
deep.
That's real. That's real. That is real. Yeah, man. Like I said, my shows are Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on Conversation. 7 o'clock, 7 to 11. So whatever you want to come through on any topic. But what we do is we give like a rudimentary question, and then we like with people like Chef, we take it to a higher level understanding. That's why I welcome people like Harrison, because he comes in and he takes the rudimentary questions that I have, and we take it there because we know I can't just switch the light on people. I have to dim it, right? You gotta scaffold it for them. So that's what we do on my page. So we definitely would love for you to come. Harrison is always welcome. He's family, and like I said, man, get
Scaffolding.
on.
You come on now. You know what we do. You ain't gonna go say these and without us making sure these folks understand the depth of the words, man. It's showtime, bro.
But listen,
He
I'm with
used,
it.
there's a term that he used. What we do is we scaffold you. What does that mean? We don't walk you in through the front precipice of the building. We don't walk you through the foyer where you know where you're going and take you up to the certain floor. What we do
Hmm.
is with the way we ask you the questions, you don't know where you're going. You don't know the destination. And if you're from New York, you understand, you've been in the city, you know what scaffolding is. It's the outer structures that they use when they're fixing the outer face of a building.
Hmm.
Those level things that they climb up. So what we're doing is scaffolding you. So you have no idea what room, what floor, what apartment, what place within that building you're going to end up in. And that's where the paradigm shift happens, where it's like, oh shit, you just dropped me over here. How did when you end up, you watch YouTube 2 hours and you end up in that weird corner of YouTube? we just we scaffold you. It's important because sometimes the human nature does not allow you to have paradigm shifts. It
Hmm.
doesn't. A lot of times certain people's mindset will make them rage against a paradigm shift because you will now at 40 something years old think what you thought was up is actually down. And people
Can't.
rage against that. There's two
Mm,
paradigm shifts that we have, I believe, two opposite ends of the spectrum. One of the paradigm shifts is what is called the epiphany, the
Mm.
wonderful recognition, that moment where it's like, damn, and it's amazing, where you almost feel youthful, that's what knowledge is for me. You almost feel youthful by virtue of what you just learned,
Hmm.
right? But then there's the antithesis of the epiphany, which is the other end of the spectrum, which is what we call rude awakening.
mm,
The rude awakening, that's something different. And sometimes when you're leading somebody to a paradigm shift, they may think the epiphany is actually the rude awakening and their spirit will rage against them. So sometimes it's
Right.
required that you scaffold them into the particular lesson, like the old karate movies. The master told the guy what the clue was in the beginning. Bruce Leroy in Last Dragon, they told him what the clue was in the beginning, but he had to travel a specific road until he found the glow.
mm.
And they were by virtue of those paradigm shifts. And scaffolding is necessary. That's the weird road it takes you to get to the place where somebody told your ass you was gonna go, but you ain't believe it because you was thinking about a different road.
Man,
You know,
you're preaching to my energy right now. Real talk. Listen, no dick ride, no brown nose. You know how somebody plants a seed and somebody
yes,
waters and somebody brings the abundance? What
Mm.
y'all saying right now is literally it's at the point of birth because Dre planted seed 15 years ago. You were dropping jewels. Told my second guest and got the you said the master gave the clue in the beginning and you have to go through. Yo, I appreciate y'all brothers. And I like this because and I used to say this kind of ironic how the universe works. I used to say this to my youth and high schools throughout New York all the time. I was like, yo, just because I'm sharing jewels to you does not mean that I'm getting jewels. And the universe does not lie when you share jewels and you get jewels. And I appreciate this
Hold on
because
one second.
more black
Khalif,
men.
real quick. Yuri, you're more than welcome to click the link and come on the live and share your opinion that way if you want. Let's have a discussion. All right, go
Yeah,
ahead, Khalif. Sorry about that.
I close by saying this. Black men need to speak like this more often. That's a fact. This is because, you know, we hold a lot of stuff in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black women have a better form when it comes to communal conversation and introspection. And I'm feeling this. And I thank God I jumped on this live. I thought I was here just to talk about red pills, but you know, God is funny like that. He'll open the door so you can catch jewels. And I appreciate the jewels from everybody on here. Lastly, I look forward to coming on everybody's show and just learning. As Dre knows, 2019, I dropped 2 racks on mad podcast equipment, just to be transparent. Did something with a partner, didn't work out, but I still got all my gear here. So it's kind of funny how this conversation is coming in due season. You know, I wrote the vision down, I made it plain. Door Make Tarry is coming in due season. And I appreciate you brothers for watering that seed that has been growing within me for what needs to be done in this paradigm shift that we're currently seeing.
Gotcha.
The fruit will be sweet. The
You know
fruit
what?
will be sweet,
Crazy.
bro.
He don't even know about the community garden. That's what we call our.
Right.
Yeah, he don't even know about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you don't ever have to worry about going through those when you were talking about those conversations you were having where they got a little tents and all of that within our community garden. It's an open place for communication. You know, we have rocks, we have flowers. The rocks are the men, the women are the flowers. They use photosynthesis and light to breathe life and create oxygen and seed other gardens everywhere else. But what makes them more beautiful, pivotal, and strong is that they breathe life into us by photosynthesis, creating oxygen, which we breathe in. We expend energy, and what do we breathe out? Carbon dioxide. And what do those precious flowers do? They breathe it back in and turn it back into oxygen, which means metaphorically, they take our crap, and when we tired, they breathe life back into us, as long as we choose the right help me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That sounded so fire.
No, but
It's not
that's
even
called,
finished.
Wrote that
no,
down.
it's
Like,
not
Look,
even
look,
it's not even finished. That's the garden.
It's not even
That's the garden
finished.
proverbs.
That's the garden proverbs that I perform at the beginning of each of our show, but that's the beginning of it. The other part is the other life form, which are the rocks, which are us, the men. We are strong in mass and dense and tensile strength. And where do we sit normally? You know those white decorative rocks. We sit on the outer periphery and outer perimeter of the garden as a protective stance so that no offending foot can step on any of our roses. Before they can step on our roses, they would have to succumb to the pain of sharp stone beneath their feet and think twice. So when we talk about, we give that proverb because one of the things I end with is this is a place of safety, this is a place of respect, and this is a place for us to grow and have great discourse. Any undue intrusions into the garden would be met with swift justice. And what do we mean by that? This is a place where it's about thought processes, concepts to grow. This is not a place of judgment, you know? So there's certain times where we had to act accordingly as curators of that garden in order to, we had to be strong botanists, if you will, within that garden to make sure we kept it as a safe place. And that's one of the things that people love when they come into the garden. They're like, yo, I like it here. I could say what I feel and don't feel attacked. You know, so.
But I'm with the smoke, though. I'm with the smoke.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm always, like Dre knows, I'm concerned about the smoke because of how I react. I know me. Like, again, you talk to a dude who has to lock himself in the bathroom when he get tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I most definitely have to self-discipline on a regular basis, but I'm loving this conversation.
Yeah, man. And I appreciate you guys coming up and enjoying, engaging in this conversation too. And I think that us doing this, Black men, is showing exactly what we need to see out there in this community.
Right.
Us having conversations like this, like reading even the comments there and how people in the chat saying how this is necessary. And, King, you're doing this on your channel. The conversation with King, and it's needed, it's necessary. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys. I really was started this video to be sort of funny and entertaining, but sort of like cracking but facting.
It was
like cracking but facting. But I like what it transitioned to, us having conversations, Black men sharing and sharing truth, honesty, and positivity, because that's what's needed. That's what's needed. And the fact that each and every one of us is from Brooklyn.
Right.
Yeah. This is what happens when Brooklyn get together.
That's dope. No, Brooklyn stand up.
Don't mind
Facts.
me. Don't mind me, man. I'm just a 4-year-old gang member. I apologize for everything I did in life. I apologize. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But listen, I do have to go because I got to write a paper. I'm
All
working
right.
on my admin and district leader's license.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So are you in the chat, real? And thank you so much, Real Talk, for coming in. I appreciate it. So guys, I put conversations with King and Chefs and Real
Thank you.
Talks links in the chat. Please
Shout out to Real
go over
Talk.
to the channel. Please go to the channel and check it out. Oh, and Jen is shouting out the only borough with the in front of it. All right. All right, Jenny. All right, and I really appreciate you, and I think that this is positive. It's necessary. It's needed. And for those who are watching and that consider themselves part of the Red Pill community, all I ask is that you guys think about what you're a part of critically, and yeah, and again, don't completely align with any one specific thing, especially if you haven't done the homework behind it completely. What I did was I wanted to, in an entertaining fashion, poke a hole in the foundation of the Red Pill community. So think about it like that. But before I close it out, I want to give everybody an opportunity that's in the panel right now to share about their channel. And then I'm going to close this out. And then we'll see you guys at Chef's Live tonight.
So this is a conversation with King. I just want to let y'all know you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7 to 11. You come on my channel. We have topics that relate to not just relationships, but societal issues within our community. And when I say community, I'm not just talking about the Black community, even though that is the preference, but I'm talking about the global community. So come here if you want to learn something, you want to be entertained, and also you want to deal with the raw truth. We have a lot of respect on our page, but we do get very, 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 very smoky, for lack of a better term. I don't want to say anything crazy, and I allow that, because I believe because we're in the garden, we have this thing called homostasis. So I let the chaos go, because eventually it's going to come down to a solution. So I let everybody do what they need to do, and then we come down to a resolution about real life issues. So I hope everyone comes. And also on my show, we have Conversation with King with the Flowers that's led by On the Block with Jen. Please come on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. It's going to be official. I think we got the best team of ladies to ever do it on YouTube. Thank you.
All right, Chef.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I want to thank you guys for having me here. This is really a dope setup you have. I like the dynamic, and I think you better get a chair for me because I'll be back. So I want to say, guys, you could catch me at Chef. That's CHEF space Choupino, CHOUPINO. All right, and that's on YouTube. I do the same thing on my page that you see. I do on the Conversations with King page. That's more or less a group setup. On my page, I have myself and a group, young Jedis called the Nighthawks, and these are young elevated brothers that we do these same types of discussions, and we try to unpack different issues and conversations. But it's not epidermal. It goes past the epidermal, past epidermis, past the white meat, past the muscle. We going straight marrow for you. All right. So understand that. Be ready to think. Be ready to think if you're gonna come to the page. We'll come to the page. We're gonna give you some paradigm shifts. It might get a little rough and rocky. We're building a plane as we flying it, but I think you will feel the organic nature of it, and you'll be back. So peace and love.
All right. And Khalif.
Yo, what's going on? This is Khalif Wins on Instagram. I will be relaunching my podcast. My podcast used to be called Must Have Convos. You can find me on Must Have Convos on Instagram. And I thank the brothers for the jewels of this and reigniting the fire, because nobody should hide their light on a hill because they don't want to step up to the responsibility that they have to use their voice and their wisdom, because wisdom isn't for us individually. It's to share and then give feedback back for better strategy. But yeah, again, it's Khalif Wins, and I'm really, really, really glad I jumped on this. Thanks everybody on this.
Yeah, man. And I do want to shout out Real Talk 87. We've connected over a year ago, and been good friends on this on YouTube, and even personal. And like real talk has been that, because if you know me, I'm low key. I speak what I have to speak, but like I say it in a way that's seasoned for everybody to hear. Where real talk tends to be like we think the same. He says it how I cannot say it a lot of times. So I appreciate my brother Real Talk. And if you guys have an opportunity, go to his channel as well. I'm going to put everybody's links in the description so that for those of you guys who are watching after the fact, who's watching the replay, you guys can connect with them as well. All right. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to close out the show. I just put you guys on the side while I close this out. All right.
Perfect.
All right. Cool, man. I really appreciate you, brothers. Really do.
Thank
So
you.
it's, I'm subscribing now. All right.
All right. All right. We got one. All right, guys. Listen, man. Listen. This was enlightening. Like this was good. Like I think I'm about to go into my paper energized. I really appreciate everybody that came on, that everybody in the chat that was part of the discussion, the brothers that came on, Real Talk 87, Khalif, King, and Chef. This is what's needed, man. It's what's needed, and I greatly appreciate it. And now here's time for the music. You know what that means? I'm about to end it right now. All right. Do me a favor, if you have not done so yet, hit the like button. Stop what you're doing. Hit the like button right now. All right. And then what I want you guys to do is hit the subscribe button, join the Harrison Extended family, hit the bell notification next to it so it'll let you know when I upload new videos. And if you guys have the financial means, you can be a channel member and be a part of the Harrison Extended family by doing that as well. We have 2 very inexpensive monthly support tiers that you can give monthly. And you'll probably set it up and forget it. That's how small of amount it is. So you can do that by hitting the join button and joining the Harrison Extended family by monthly sponsorships as well. So guys, I appreciate you all. Like, really love you guys. And I really thank you guys for being a part of the conversation, being a part of the show. And for those who watch the replay, staying in the replay and listening to the conversation, leave a comment in the chat, in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the Red Pill community. Is it helpful? Is it not helpful? How is it compared to the actual Red Pill and how it was formatted based in the movie The Matrix? Let's talk about it, all right? And again, I really appreciate you. Yeah, for On the Block with Jen, adding to the conversation. Everybody else, greatly appreciate you guys. So I'm about to end it here. And if you have not done so, just please go subscribe to those brothers' channels in the description to this video. And with that being said, I'm about to call it a night. Get into this paper. I really appreciate what you guys like to no end. So until the next upload or the next live stream, I'm out. Peace.